The silence in the house was a kind of violence, suffocating, still, and loud in all the wrong ways. Where once her laughter had echoed down the hallway, where her perfume had lingered in the morning light, there was now nothing, just me and the memories. Lauren, my wife of 7 years, had stood at the edge of our living room on a quiet Friday night and said, "I need space." For words that split my world open. Her voice had no tremble, no anger, just a chilling flatness, as if she'd rehearsed it. One minute we were talking about what to order for dinner. The next she was stuffing clothes into a weekend bag, not meeting my eyes, refusing explanations. I asked her what was wrong, asked if I had done something. She shook her head, said she needed to think about us, about herself. And then she walked out like she hadn't just left a crater behind her. That first week was a haze of disbelief and denial. I went through our life together like flipping through a mental photo album, looking for the cracks I had missed. Had I been too distracted, too caught up in the daily grind of my carpentry work, to notice her slipping away? I hammered nails and sanded oak until my palms blistered, but no amount of woodwork could hammer the ache out of my chest. The house was a tomb. I cooked for one, ate in silence, crawled into a cold, empty bed each night. The scent of her still clung to the sheets. Then came the anger, slow, poisonous. It curled around my ribs and burned in my gut. How dare she disappear without clarity, treating me like some inconvenient bookmark she could come back to whenever it suited her. I channeled my rage into the physical. I worked harder, longer. I joined a gym, pushing weights like I was lifting the betrayal itself off my chest. My muscles thickened, my body hardened, but the hollow inside remained. And then, as abruptly as she'd left, she came back. It was a Sunday. The gold in our sun cast a glow across the front porch. As she stepped inside, suitcase in hand, trying on a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "I'm back," she said, almost too casually. "I missed you." I didn't move. I didn't reach for her or ask how she'd been. I let the silence answer her, watching from the living room as she took in what had changed. Because things had changed. The carpets were gone. I'd ripped them up and revealed the dark, polished hardwood floors beneath, now gleaming. The walls, once bland beige, were now painted in a cool slate blue. Minimalist furniture replaced the worn couch and coffee table we used to lounge on during movie nights. The room was elegant, sharp, reborn, but it was the centerpiece that stopped her in her tracks. Dozens of framed photos lined a vertical pillar from floor to ceiling, each one carefully curated from our life together, vacations, anniversaries, lazy Sunday mornings, only they no longer told the story she remembered. Every photo had been altered, her face, her figure, her presence cut out, removed with surgical precision. What remained were snapshots of a life that looked almost whole, but not quite. Holes where her smile used to be, shadows where her hand once held mine. A hollow chronicle of a shared history I no longer wanted to claim. She stared, lips parting, as the weight of it settled in. A visual indictment, a silent accusation. "Where were you, Lauren?" I asked quietly. My voice wasn't raised, it didn't need to be. It carried weight. "While you were off thinking." "Where exactly did you go?" Her eyes darted around like a cornered animal. She mumbled something about staying with her sister, voice cracking with uncertainty. I smiled. Cold, controlled. I pulled out my phone and held it up. A photo, her, laughing, on a beach, with a man I'd never seen before, but had since come to know all too well. Tall, polished, a finance guy from her office. The kind of man who wore overpriced cologne and thought sincerity was beneath him. Her hand was in his. Their drinks clinked against the sunset. Her mouth dropped open. Her complexion drained. She reached for words but found none. "It's not what it looks like," she whispered. "It's exactly what it looks like," I said, almost gently. "You wanted space, and you filled it with someone else. So go, be with him. You already made your choice." She collapsed onto the floor as if her legs couldn't hold the weight of her guilt. Her sobs echoed through the room, filling the void she'd left behind a month ago. But I didn't move. I didn't comfort her. I just stood over her, emotionless. The love I'd once had for her had been carved out, layer by painful layer. I left her there. I got in my truck and drove across town to the address I'd tracked down for her new lover. A penthouse in a sleek glass building downtown, the kind of place where people drink cocktails instead of beer and call cheating a mistake, rather than what it truly is. I waited. When he finally emerged smug in designer sunglasses, keys in hand, I blocked his car and got out. "You must be Lauren's husband," he said, smiling as if we were meeting at a barbecue. That smile vanished with the first punch. I dragged him from his leather-seated car and unleashed everything I'd buried for weeks. One hit, another, a knee. My knuckles split against his cheekbone, but I didn't stop. He crumpled beneath me, all his bravado spilling onto the sidewalk like so much garbage. "Stay away from my life," I growled. "Not just my wife, my life." And then I left him, bloody, broken, and humiliated. By the end of that week, the dominoes had begun to fall. Videos from the security cameras caught the fight. His face, bruised and swollen, went viral after someone uploaded it with the caption, "Finance bro gets wrecked." Word spread fast. The affair exposed. Lauren fired. He out of a job. A laughing stock among his peers. His reputation was ash. Everything they'd built together during their little vacation from reality collapsed in slow, public ruin. As for Lauren, she never came back. She didn't fight the divorce, didn't ask for anything. I think, deep down, she knew she didn't deserve it. I'd taken control of a life that had once been spiraling out of mine. The pain didn't disappear, but it no longer owned me. I'd learned something through all of it, that betrayal may cut deep, but it can also carve you into something stronger. Rebuilding isn't about starting over. It's about rising from what's left. And that's exactly what I did. I reclaimed my life. I rebuilt it with my own hands, piece by piece. And this time, I built it to last.